Good evening, good afternoon, good everything, everybody. This is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, and welcome to another episode of We Are Ready, where we're always focusing on preparing ourselves to be ready for pretty much any particular situation, pandemics, pandemoniums, disasters, whatever. We will continue to focus on that. However, tonight, we will be joined by a panel of women. We spotlighting women, especially Black women. And one of the things, because last month was, well, the month before was Black History Month, and then last month was Women in History Month. And a lot of times there are a lot of women, and we don't really appreciate a lot of their efforts. We don't spotlight them or highlight what they've done, what they are currently doing, and what are they doing for the future. So tonight we'll be joined by a panel of women. Everybody that's joining us on Facebook or Instagram, make sure that you come over here to Square Mile Media Atlanta, like it, share it, and subscribe. Uh, we got a lot of content over here, and we look forward to bringing you into the family. So we'll be joined by a variety of women. I encourage you to like and share and comment uh, different things that you might have. If you got women in your life, it's a good time to share this show with them. So we're going to be bringing them in right about now. And like I said, this is Reginal Drummer. I'll be coming off the Facebook platform and going directly over here to welcome our guest, a panelist of women. The spotlight is on women. So we got a couple of ladies out here. I see a couple of them coming into the chat. Sylvia, Letitia. Okay. You all are ready. Well, good evening, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing
Hey,
good.
Sylvia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Doing good, Reggie.
Okay,
Great.
okay. Well, you all are starting it out, and one of the things as other ladies join in, um, maybe you could give us a little introduction of yourself, who you are, what you do, and how do you see yourself for us in the past, the present, and the future? What are some of your concerns, and what are some of the things you're working on?
Oh, you want to go first, Letitia?
No, I'll give it to you, Sylvia.
Hey,
Okay, so like what I'm doing now, I am in the entertainment industry. So I do some of everything, to be honest. I'm a stagehand, I direct, I produce, I everything. To be honest, right now, I'm doing a show called Lord, I Need a Laugh, which is a gospel and comedy show, and that's coming up June the 3rd. I'm doing that. A couple of friends of mine, we partnered up and formed a company, Lamb Productions. So you can see that on Facebook page, Lamb Production, and some of the stuff we're getting ready to do. If you don't see much on there, that's because we are new. Okay, new together, but not new individually. Individually, we've been doing this for years and years, but new together as a company. So it's Lamb Productions. We're doing that. Then I have my company, which is Alive and Kicking Productions. With that, I do video shoots. I even shoot funerals. That's one of the side hustles I do. When somebody die, I go and shoot the funeral. Of course, they hire me out, to come and shoot the funeral. I do that. I do other pictures, and I'm an author. Yeah, that's going under Alive and Kicking as well. Yeah, so I do a lot of stuff. Um, yeah, what I look for the future is just to keep on pressing on. Just keep getting better and better, and doing the things that I do already, but even more, and making more money with it.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I can. Of course, there's more stuff, but I can save that for later.
Okay. Letitia, how you doing?
I'm good, Reginald. How are you?
Doing great.
Great. Great. So I am the owner of a company, two companies actually, Artish Creations and Foodie's Taste Kitchen. And I am a marketing strategist. And what I do is I take companies from the very root and I bring them up. So I write proposals, I do websites, I I'm a social media content creator. I've been doing that for years. When the market took a turn back in 2008, I went online and learned everything that I could about becoming a content creator in social media. So I produce content every day to encourage, inspire, and I've had some really good hits with it. Actually, I still do that, but I also have a passion for gourmet food, and I'm a foodie. And so I started in 2017. I started a box called Foodie's Taste Kitchen, and this box, what we do is every other month, we send out food, gourmet food for you to cook, taste, and savor. And we send it to home cooks, people who cook, food enthusiasts who wanted to have a different experience. Like we have a vegan box that's coming out soon. We have a spice box that I had to put on hold because of health reasons, but we're going to bring that box back out. And this is it's from Greens Company will be in that box, Cooking with Ruby, and another gentleman, So Delicious, out of Vegas. These are all incredible spice companies that are very well vetted in the community, online, and in business. They all have their own business. So Delicious is in Las Vegas. The Greens family, Cooking with the Greens family, is in where is he at? Oh my God, Virginia Beach, Virginia Beach, and Chef Ruby is here in Atlanta. So I chose these chefs because I knew that they had great spices. They had a great following on social media, which is going to help us get the word out there. And trying to find different social content creators, that was my marketing strategy. So I'm always looking for a marketing strategy to produce and bring people into the fold. And we'll be celebrating 33 years in business in June 1st. So like Sylvia, I do a lot of things right now. The latest project, I'm working on a children's festival and a anti-bullying walk with a company called 321 Stop Bullying. And they hired me to help them with this festival in Greensboro, Georgia. I'm really excited about that. And I can't wait. My whole purpose of this and mission is that these children will walk away from this event, not with a face painting, but a skill. We're going to have workshops where they'll learn how to make cards. They're going to learn how to have a paint party. They'll be decorating cupcakes. They're going to be people there who are speakers who hopefully will have changed their lives and defined them as I did as a child. So I don't want children walking away just say they had fun and game in a playhouse. I really want them to get creative. I want them to be inspired by something from the facilitators who are going to be holding these workshops. And they'll sign up online, and it's going to be organized so that we know how many kids are in each workshop. And I want to welcome them like they're celebrity guests. I want them to feel so good about themselves that they don't have time to be bullying anybody. And that's my story.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause and a pat on the back and a thumbs up. And you said something good and special, especially with what's happening in the news. Look like we're being joined by another young person as she gets her stuff. Is that Avery?
Hey,
So there, Avery, all right, you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. You ready to share who you are and what you do, and for a young lady coming up?
Okay. So I'm a women's empowerment poet and author, and I'm working in special ed, and I'm from Phoenix by way of Northern Virginia, and I enjoy dancing, singing, writing, going on walks, biking, and meeting new people. So thanks for having me.
Well, give them your name if you don't mind as well. And
Oh,
tell them about your book.
I'm Avery Drummer. My pen name is Sienna V. Ferruzzi. Um, and my poetry books are Blue Humanitarian and Left on Red. And I have some empty journals also on Amazon.
Great.
Okay. We got a young writer there. So that's
Yeah.
so we definitely got to give you. It's always good to see the young people. You that feature, okay?
Hey,
Yes,
Avery. She's looking just
I
like
have
her.
I have a poetry collab book. I'm still waiting on copies, but I did it with several other Black women, and it's called Unitry 2. They already did the first one the other year, but it's Unitry 2, and it's about womanhood and girl struggles, women's struggles, and um, reflection through poetry and prose.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that. I know that
Wow.
the first one was powerful, and we definitely know we're going to hear a lot from you in the future. We've got Miss Hey, what's up, Miss Antoinette? How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, and that type stuff.
Absolutely. I'm Antoinette. Everybody who knows me calls me Tony. So I'm comfortable with each of you calling me Tony, but Antoinette Tate. I'm from the beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. Growing up, I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what that something was. And so I am a lover of knowledge. I spent a lot of time in college, but never really had a direction. I moved from Wilmington, and at that time I majored in political science. I didn't do anything with it. And then I said, I moved to Atlanta. And when I came to Atlanta, mind you, my hometown back then was a mixture of Black and white. I shared the elementary picture with some colleagues, and they started laughing. They said, "You went to school with a whole bunch of Caucasian folks." Well, I never paid any attention because that's just what it was. It was Black and white. And so when I came to Atlanta, oh my goodness, I was in the Black Mecca.
Chocolate
And
City.
so, Yahoo! Look, now we call Myrtle Beach. Back in the day, Atlantic Beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, we used to call that Chocolate City. But when I moved here, I said I want to get a piece of this Afrocentricity. So I went to ITC and I majored in MDiv. I still didn't really have an identity of who it is I was becoming. Well, I used to manage a group home, and while I was there, I met Bishop Dr. Tanya Sumner Brown. She and her husband were trying to adopt one of the kids there. And we grew a partnership. She and I had a thrift store off of Covington Highway. And so I knew I wanted to do business, but I'm still trying to figure this thing out, right? And so in getting to know her and in with the thrift store, she was already a business owner, a licensed professional counselor, and she had her own private practice. And so the thrift store did not bloom the way I thought it would. And so we made a conscious decision just to focus on the counseling. And so I became the VP of operations, and in doing that, I managed the office. Mind you, I had no idea what I was doing. I was learning as I was going. What I noticed was that people came in there one way, and they came out of the disorders that they came in there for. And I became like, what? I was so fascinated by it. I went back to school myself to become a licensed professional counselor. And in doing so, one of the things I learned as I'm engaging in the professors is the model of counseling is made up of Caucasian people, not for us. And so it's so necessary for us to get into this field so that we can relate and assist people of color as they go through their mental health journey. And so here I am learning all I can so that I can be Harriet Tubman for the people.
Ah.
A mental health Harriet Tubman. Set them free. Set them free. And that's who I am and where I'm at today.
Wow. Okay. Powerful story.
Everyone's sharing powerful stories, man. And I'm ready to engage. I don't know if it's off camera, but I have a whole bunch of questions and want to get to know more.
Okay. Well, and we'll be joined by some other ladies as we come in. You guys' conversation is also being shared over on our Facebook link. And but
wow.
yes, we try to get you out there. Well, one of the things I guess when we talk about spotlight on women, and all of you are strong women, and when you look at past, we could ask, what are some of your influences as a woman? Who are some of your influences, or what are some of the things that influence you and, who you are now?
Okay, I'll take that one. Okay, when I was younger, I had two other sisters, and they were really bookworms. And there was this teacher. Her name is Frankie McCullough. Before her, there was another woman. Her name is Ann Thompson. And my sisters were the bookworms. They were the honor roll students. And basically, I was just average student then. I'm not average anymore, but I was average. I'm not average anymore. I was an average student. And the thing about being in grade school, I was bored to death. I'm very creative. And a lot of the teachers, and I found myself sometimes looking across the hall to all the advanced, they were having so much fun in their classes. Their teachers were engaging. It was almost like the educational system only gave their best to the highest classes. The people who had the higher grades got the best teachers. And I always got these teachers that were extremely boring. But I lucked up and got Frankie McCullough for a French class. And she said, and even way back then, I didn't even know I was going to be in the culinary. She said, you're going to bring something to the class. Everybody had to do a project. Well, I made crepes for the class. Now, this is way back, guys, in the 70s, okay? And so she went to my father. There was a trip. They were going to Europe. And there was a trip to London and Paris. And she went to my father and she said to him, it takes this type of person who influences other people. She went to my father and she said, I see something in Letitia. Let her go. Because my sister was going to go, no problem, because she was a, AB student. No go. She said, I see something in Letitia. Let her go. So my dad, at that point, both of us went to Europe, London and Paris for $500. My dad took out a loan. No, it was $1,000, $1,100, $550 each person. My dad took a loan out and he got the money on work study program. Let me tell you something. That trip changed my life. I thought those pictures I saw in the book, as dumb as I was thinking at that time, this is not right. When I saw that Eiffel Tower, when I saw the London, the Big Ben, when I saw those things in person, it changed me. And she was right. It changed my life. And ever since then, I've been all over the world. I used to work for American Express. I've traveled to, my product line was Europe, Asia, Africa, and Mexico. And just that one spark that she put into me changed me. And I got to go with the accelerated students. And I was never the same again when I came back. So wow. Frankie McCullough, Ann Thompson, those are two ladies who mentored me when I was a young girl, who stood behind me and said, I see something in her. She's not average. She's way above average.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have that much of an influence per se, but two people that really stood out for me was my English teacher when I was in college. One of the things she said, whatever you do, you be the best you at it. If you're going to be a bum, you be the best bum there ever was. You know, be your best in everything you do. So that always stood out with me. And the other person was Les Brown. I love Les Brown. He is one powerful speaker. And so I wanted to be a public speaker. Okay, that was one of the things I inspired to do was public speaking. And he was the one that inspired me. I went and took Toastmasters and all of that good stuff. Of course, you know, I'm a theater major. So just taking the Toastmasters class and being able to speak empowered me somewhat to be a talk show host. So I would say Les Brown and my teacher were the ones who inspired me because, you know, she was my English teacher and I love to write. And so, man, whenever we had to write compositions, I took so much pride in them, so much pride because I always wrote real well. And so that's how I got my book. Power Thoughts, Empowering You to be Successful in Life. You know, so you got to get my book. It's very powerful. And that quote my teacher gave me, it's in the book.
Whoa.
No, it's in there. It's in there. So those are the people who inspire me.
Avery?
Oh. Gosh, it's been a lot of people. I think my English teacher, she's a poet, so she definitely really sparked my interest in writing more and encouraged us to learn how to communicate better at a young age. But I would also say one of the directors of community service at my college, her poise and her passion for social justice and helping us grow into the women that we are now, it definitely stuck with me. Just observing the way people behaved and carried themselves as I was growing up. So a lot of those teachers, they left an impression on me, whether it was completely healthy or not. It definitely helped me like understand how the world works and how to interact with others.
Okay. Miss Tony?
Okay. I'm going to say my mother. And when people look at me, they say they see my mother, but what they see is her aura. And she taught me how to treat people. Now, we didn't grow up in church, but she showed us a God. And so she showed me how to not judge. And so if I saw somebody and I attempted to judge, she'll correct me. No matter, I treat everybody equal. People say I have excellent customer service skills. That's my mama. That's my mama. And so I treat people with respect, no matter about what the title, you know. I love unconditionally. I try to. That's my goal. And so she taught. There's a saying that your manners will get you through doors that your academic achievement won't. And so I know I can get through some doors based on my mannerism, and that's my mother. Now I have other heroes and sheroes, but I want to say that's what she gave me. That passes me through a lot of crowds.
Oh, wow. That's some you all were really inspired. I think about women that inspired me, whether it be my mother, but grandmother, women history, just all around. Mother Nature itself.
Come on. The true mother.
So definitely, well, present day, what are some of the things that you all are doing to inspire other women or other people or people within your relationships?
Okay, all right, I'll start off. I think every day that I get online as a content creator, I'm inspiring somebody, whether they're lurking or they actually do a like or a comment. And I have to bring this up because every time I think about it, you never know who's watching you. And I feel the love more than anything on my birthday. People come out the woodworks to wish me a happy birthday. But this particular year, there was a woman who came offline. She said, I just want you to know, with even last year, they said, your content inspires me because sometimes I get no likes. A lot of times I get no likes, no comments, nothing. She said, you stopped me from committing suicide. And I first, I had to read it again. And I said, what? She said, you stopped me from committing suicide. Your posts every day are so inspiring. The things that you're doing is so inspiring. So I like to say that every day I get up, I'm very mindful, and I am a big political junkie. So, I've calmed that way down because I'm doing a lot of food posting now. But I have literally turned my page into a campaign headquarter to get certain people elected. So with that said, but now I've calmed way down and just being mindful all the time, being mindful that who am I talking to and who am I encouraging every day that I get online.
Okay.
Me, I guess I inspire people with the medical era because I taught health and stress management for a minute until I got lascivitis, and I still do it. Of course I got the lascivitis when I had a car accident, and that just sort of broke it up for some reason or another. I don't know why, but I still do that when someone is sick. I tell them how to fix it because I did a show last year sometime. I had to put your doctor on the back burner, because when you go to the doctor, they want to give you pills. They want to put a Band-Aid on everything instead of fixing it, give you a Band-Aid for your headache instead of trying to figure out what's causing your headache or high blood pressure. Give you medicine to keep your blood pressure down, but what's causing your blood pressure? And I teach people blood pressure is not a disease, it's a symptom. Figure out what's causing the problem and then fix that, and your blood pressure will go down. Whereas the doctor would just, give you something for the blood pressure. So that's what I do. I inspire people to be healthy, not to eat a whole lot of sugar. And then I give them a whole lot of wisdom too. Of course, with my book, inspiring people to do the right thing, even with stress, do the right thing. I'm constantly doing that. Forgiveness, because a lot of people have a lot of ill feelings, and every chance I get, I tell them, forgive so you can heal. Forgive so you can heal. It's not forgiving them for them, because they probably don't even know you're hurting. You're the only one who's suffering when you're having all of that hatred in you or ill feeling. So that's what I do to inspire people constantly. And then food too. Sometimes we have to talk about food and all the other things I do, and letting people know that just because you're old doesn't mean you have to sit in a rocking chair and do nothing. Because like me, my company is Alive and Kicking Productions, and that's because I'm a senior citizen and I'm alive and kicking. So we got Alive and Kicking Production. Just because you're aging doesn't mean you have to slow down. So I'm constantly inspiring people, letting them know, hey, you can still do it. Just because you have kids doesn't mean that you can't do anything. Because I've been told that you have children now, you got to sit down, you got to get a job and stuff like that. I tell them, I'm not dead yet, So I keep on going, and people have been inspired. What you don't know, that you inspire people whether you know it or not. There are a lot of people are inspired by the things you do, the things you say, your actions and all of that. And so I'm beginning to find that out. People are telling me that sometimes, how I inspire them to do whatever just because they see me doing it. I'm going, oh, really? And I'm doing things to keep me happy. But in the meantime, I'm inspiring people. So that's what I do. Just keep doing me, and helping people when I can, because I love helping people. It makes me feel good to know that I gave somebody a tea or told them how to fix something and it works for them. That makes me happy. So that's what I do. Inspire.
Get a thumbs up, pat on the back, and a rub on the forehead.
She knows she talking about me when she brought those good teas over that I knew nothing about. I love you, Sylvia, man. You, oh my God. She gave me some teas, guys, to stop my arthritis. It was moringa. Okay. And I told I said, Sylvia, that tea, she was talking about they kill cancer cells. I said, that tea stops some arthritis, girl. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. See, it's not just you, it's a whole bunch of other people too. But you're welcome. Glad to do it.
Well, Avery or Antoinette, what are y'all, who do you all inspire? How you do it?
You want to go, Avery?
You muted.
Okay.
Okay. I would say getting involved with the Women's March and keeping in touch with some women who are younger than me that are coming up right after me from school, or even my sisters, keeping in touch with them and encouraging them and reminding them they can get through the week or get through the day. Sometimes even when it's just small talk, I like to help people look at things realistically, but also still look on the bright side of things, because we've already overcome so much. So yeah, I'm trying to get active with the Phoenix NCNW chapter out here, but it's a matter of time. I have to find out for sure where they meet and see if I'm not too busy, because it's only once a month.
Okay. Ms. Tony?
I believe that your attitude makes a difference, and I oversee the interns in the mental health at A-Love Counseling Center, the interns and the practicum students. And I know it gets kind of tough for them because I'm in their shoes as well. But I live by example as a leader, and I try to pull out the best in them. And so, for example, we had a young lady, and I could see her potential. However, I saw she was not exerting her potential. And so I had a chat with her, and it went like this, plain and simple. I said to her, Robin is a hero all by himself. But you're not Robin. You're Batman. And so lead. You're gonna have to lead. You're not Robin. And from there she took off. Dr. Tommy was like, what you telling her? You gotta stop hiding. You are a leader. You got it. And we had and this is another, like a little tidbit I might say. We had another young lady, and she was holding down her greatness. Boy, you can see if you give her a task, she goes above and beyond. Her works would speak for herself. And I said to her, I see you as though you were behind a door, and that little crack underneath the door, I can still see your light shining. And so even though you're not saying, look at me, you're shining. And so things like that, I am an encourager for my family. I try to keep upbeat, and as with your book, Sylvia, let them know it's in their mind. And so if we can change the way you're thinking, there's a saying, is the glass half empty or half full? be glad you got a glass. You know what I'm saying? I got a glass. And so we proceed like that, you know, think positive, be positive. And your reality is based on how you see things. And so that's how I inspire amongst other things.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. I think one of the questions would be, and for everybody that's joining us, we still streaming live over on Facebook as well. So you all can get some questions and go over in the I can't see the chat here, but I see some questions over here. But one of the questions were, what are in relationships, whether it's relationships with yourself, relationships with your family, relationship with a significant other, relationship with this relationships in general. Since especially since the pandemic, how has it affected you? You know, I know social media is here, and a lot of people interact more. And but it was a little bit different probably prior to COVID. We say before COVID, BC, before COVID. How did that affect your relationships, whether with yourself, family members, significant others, whatever, school, work, whatever?
Okay, I'll start it off again.
Ah,
Okay, I get, yeah, I'll start it off again. Okay, so you know
hey
that
there,
question,
Drummer. Go
that
ahead.
question. Oh, that question that's a good question. The pandemic terrorized me, and I'm pretty social. Not, I wouldn't say I'm a social butterfly, but I do have great relationships with my clients, with my friends. And during that time, I stopped eating. I lost, you know, some people think it's a cancer, but it wasn't. I had stopped eating. I wasn't eating anything. I shut my house down. I was terrified. I shut my house down. I normally have tastings here. I have dinner with my friends. One friend was begging me. She said, we could just sit outside, Letitia. I said, no, I'm high risk. You can't, you know? And she was really distraught. And so I shut my house down for 4 months. It was just me. And I remember putting a post on Facebook. I said, a visitor, Amazon. I was, every time delivery people came, I was like, oh my God, a delivery person, Amazon. It really wrecked me. It really did, guys. I was so stressed out. And I think all of that cumulated and just, you know, compounded my health situation. The stress, like Sylvia was talking about. And I was recently diagnosed with colon cancer, but they got it all. And I'm in remission now. But these doctors seem to be trying to pray negativity on me. Like, you know, I still got, I say, hey, I don't see myself sick. I hadn't been in the hospital since I was 26. And so I feel really alive now that I'm connecting again. That pandemic, I'm telling you, it wore me out. I was so scared of connecting. And now I feel like I'm getting back to myself, you know, mixing with people that I love. I love to, you know, communicate. I love to gather and network with people. And the pandemic took that away from me. So it really, honestly, almost wrecked me.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, I stayed home a lot, but it didn't really affect my relationships with anybody because my husband, my grandson was right here. But I can say this, he was upset with me. My husband was upset with me because I didn't take the shot. That caused a slight problem. But other than that, I'm good. I went shopping when I wanted to because I was always careful. And when I remembered, I put my mask on and I tried to keep my distance and washing my hands and stuff like that. But as far as other relationships, now, if somebody had COVID or something like that, I wouldn't go close to them, So like I wanted to go home one time in Mississippi, but somebody down there had it. Stay home. I ain't crazy, but I'm not taking the shots either, So, I'm one of those believers, you don't test God, so I wasn't testing him because some people do, those people say, I'm not going to get it. And they just, carelessly go out there and do whatever. I wasn't one of those people. I didn't think that I could get it. I kept my system up to par, kept my immune system built up. So hopefully I wouldn't get it, but I wasn't crazy enough to say I'm going to test God either. So as far as my relationship with everybody, I called more people, trying to see how they were doing. That was one of the things I did. How you doing? Just checking up on you. So that did open the door for me to call more people. And I had more time too to call more people and to see how they were doing. Because I was concerned, I might not go visit, but I was concerned that you can pick up a phone and call people. And we shouldn't let that pandemic stop us either. I mean, because it supposedly came to an end, that shouldn't stop us from continuing to have relationships and checking up on people, because they still pass away and get sick. So it's keep on going. Just keep on going. Didn't bother me that much.
Okay. Hey, Reed, Tony.
I would say it was a hard adjustment in a way, but um because I had social media and was still able to work part of the time with a mask on, it wasn't too bad for me. But adjusting here was different because people in Arizona don't really care about masks, but people in Virginia really do. They're still, I think some people in Virginia are like kind of paranoid about it, but some of the people here are a little too relaxed to the point where they were trying to travel to different countries when it was still pretty early on. So it's just a totally different attitude here. And it's made me feel more open to being social here, but at the same time, people are still getting sick, whether it's with the flu or COVID or bronchitis. People are still getting sick out here because nobody here really wears a mask.
Whoa.
And nobody even worries about 6 feet. Especially in the elementary school I'm at. So, I mean, I try to just wash my hands often, but I mean, working with 5-year-olds, they're going to be picking their nose and putting their hands all over the place. So the staff tries to stay aware, but most of the staff doesn't worry too much about anything.
So y'all still have a lot of breakout there of COVID?
I don't really see it. I think we have to worry about the babies and the senior citizens, but I don't think we see it that much. I think there's a good amount of people who either got vaxxed or they eat a lot of fruit and veggies, and they're able to stay pretty good.
Oh, okay.
With our agency, the Counseling Center, we did a good transition from face-to-face to virtual. And so I still kept my same relationships with clients, with my family. But I would say the main relationship that changed was with me. It gave me more time to see if there's some things about me that I wanted to work on. Like I had a show on People TV, and I noticed, I looked in the mirror one day, I said, I think I gained a whole lot of weight. A lot of weight. And so because I'm home, I can research different things and begin to work on how I eat. Now I find I like to be outside more. And so when I'm walking, I prefer to walk outside. And so my relationship, even my spiritual relationship has improved. So I would say my spiritual relationship improved, my relationship with myself improved. And it seems like I slowed down. I have more time. I'm not, and so I think I had a reset. And I would say that's what COVID did for me. I had a reset, reevaluation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, my clothes, I didn't gain weight, my clothes shrunk.
I love it.
My
I
clothes
love
shrunk. And I didn't realize how much rest I needed until we was
it.
forced to stay home. And after that, I could feel my body just relaxing. I'm going, dang, I needed that. I could feel a difference in my body, after staying home for a while. So it was a good thing for me because I got to finish up my book and got it published.
I gave a. Okay, I want to backtrack on, not really backtrack, but I want to clarify something. I knew people needed me. I knew that, I was afraid. In those 4 months that we had the lockdown, I was afraid. But when I started, people were calling. I was on the phone all the time and I was on the internet. And I remember I was communicating a lot through, and I could not stand Zoom. But I had a whole bunch of Zoom parties. That year I turned 60. Also, my business turned 30 years old. So I spent a lot of time, even though in the background I was stressed out and not eating, I wasn't telling people about it. When people kept telling me they were gaining weight, I would say, don't say nothing about you losing that 13 pounds. Don't say anything. I just kept that hidden. But one thing that I did do to keep my sanity is that I would take cupcakes. I make cupcakes. I'm known for that. I would take cupcakes to the grocery stores, to the Dollar Tree, and I got to know them. And I would just go in with my mask and my gloves. I was suited up. And I would just say, hey, I brought you something. And that helped me. And then my friends, I would drive around in my car and I would pass through the window and I said, stand back. I'm going to pass it out the window. And they said, okay, Letitia. And they said, oh my God, they were just so happy to see me. So after that 4th month, I started getting out and taking cupcakes. And the stores knew me and they still know me. I said the first responder, what do you call them? What were they calling that? The people who had to stay open? What was that?
Critical, needed, what they call them?
They had a name for it. So I just wanted to call, but one place I was not going, and that was to the hospital. So I gave it to my friend. I said, here, you take it to the first people. I'm going up in there. That was one place I was not going, but I did deliver a lot of cupcakes and that did help me. But it was like the 5th month I started, relaxing a little bit because I was going to go crazy. I was going to, really take myself into a place where it was really unhealthy, Tony, which you can understand that. And I said, you better do something. I was praying, and my prayer life and stuff like that. And it said, cook. Spirit just said, cook. And I said, okay, that's it. I'll cook and I'll take it around to people, because Spirit just gives me words, one word, said, cook. That's what you love, cook. And that's what I started doing.
Wow. Well, I think during COVID, we did about 400 shows. Corona action, preparation, training, information, mobilization, empowerment. And we were doing 3 and 4 shows a day. We had so many different people coming from so many different spaces. We had the mask wearers against the non-mask wearers. Long before the vaccinated, we had all this stuff. But one of the things I think it did open up people's minds. One of the other questions I have, when we look at violence, with all the things, you would think that after COVID, people would have been more nicer to each other. But it kind of created an atmosphere where people, like we said, we had the mask wearers against the non-mask wearers. I saw people actually get jumped on for wearing a mask. The vaccinated against the unvaccinated. And we also had different name callings within political groups. People really became alienated. It became un-American and American. So the big thing today, when you look at violence, you would think that violence would have went down, because it did go down in some places because people just weren't out as much. But they got more violence within the household, domestic violence. We had situations where people had to kill family members because of these things. But the question is, how do you feel? Do you feel safe today?
No. No. No.
Okay, let's do it this way. Are you talking about safe from the virus or safe from people?
Just say people, because the virus up and down. But do you feel safe? Just safe from people. I mean, how do you feel when you go out as a woman amongst people, young people, old people? I mean, how do you feel? Because old people, it's some jacked up old folk that's doing some stuff, and there's some messed up young people that's doing some stuff. How do you feel as a woman today, just going out, just being around your house, just your presence? How does it feel?
You know what?
I know for me, it makes me weary about traveling, because there's so many crazy people out here. I used to get on the road and just go by myself, right? But now if I go somewhere, I want somebody with me. It's long distance. Now locally I can do it, but long distance, I want somebody with me. I don't want to be out late at night by myself. Where I used to, it wouldn't really bother me. But now we got these crazy people out there who would do anything. And so it makes me leery. If my gas is low, I'll wait until the next day when it's daylight to get gas. Unless I can pull in front of the service station right there in front of the door, on the side of the door, to get my gas. Otherwise, I just wait, because I don't feel that safe. I don't feel like even when COVID was out, when I was getting gas, I would use paper towel to grab the handle, before I get, to get my gas. So I was cautious, because you never know who's trying to do what.
Yeah, you always got that. Yeah, to your credit, what you're saying, Sylvia, I that. But my whole fear is like driving, because even though I have cataracts, I want somebody with me, and I told my sweetie pie that I just feel better when you're around, because you just never know. But when I get in my car, I pray in my garage, and I pray and thank God coming back, because I'm telling you, if you look at the attitude of the people who are driving, they must be really pissed about something. I have seen people cut me off, and I'm like, okay, the energy is just scary. And I just find myself, God, just get me back to that street. And the minute I turn down my street, I'm thinking, God, thank you for safe travels back home. Because the people, I put it online one time. I said, I feel like I need to have a helmet when I'm driving, because I feel like I'm on Indianapolis 500 and people are speeding by you. And then there was a day where you can be in the slow lane. You can't even be in the slow lane now. There's people all on your bumper and their headlights are on you. You're like, dude, you can go around. You can go around. But oh no, they're all on you, and their headlights are on you. You can't see. And more our eyesight at night is getting deteriorating for most people, even if you have cataracts or not. I find friends say I just don't drive at night anymore. I'm tired of people on my bumper, and sometimes I just pull over and let them go by.
Yeah.
I just want to get home safe. And I'm that's most fearful of driving. And I'm like that even during the day. It's like people, you never know. And you see all these accidents, and you're like, how did that happen? It's just so weird how the accident happened, and you're looking at it and you're like, my God.
Yeah, I had a lady to pull out in front of me, and then she get out fussing at me. Why did you hit me? You see these children in the car? She was in the wrong, and I hit her. But she's fussing at me for hitting her.
Oh, you hit her with your fist?
No, with the car.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm going straight, and she pulled off in front of me, and I hit her. And she want to know, why did I hit her with these kids in the car? She had kids in the car. You see these kids in the car? Why did you hit me? Like I was the one in the wrong. Yeah,
that's some crazy psycho stuff right there.
Yeah,
people drag racing. It's crazy.
Avery and Tony, how do you feel? You feel safe or threatened? Or how does it feel? Okay.
Your mic is muted, Avery. Can't you hear me?
Avery,
Avery's camera is coming in.
you muted, I
Her mic.
believe.
Her mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, I would just
I
say
can't see Avery.
with shopping, like I can I feel pretty good, but when it's a larger store and if it's later in the day, like at least in the back of my mind, after I leave, I am kind of relieved because there's all types of people there, and you never know when the next mass shooting is going to be. And I think it does bother me in the back of my head, but I do usually um, pray for coverage before I drive anywhere and when I come back. And I try not to drive or go out after like 9 or 10 because even in the nicer areas, you never know who could be watching you and who's got all types of ill intent. And especially as a woman, like you have to, there's just added pressure that's put on us. But it's not entirely our responsibility. We have to have more unity and responsibility on the men and the women so we can be safer in our neighborhoods.
Okay.
I feel relatively safe. I try to operate with caution. So, for instance, if I needed to go to the laundry room, I would not go at 10 o'clock at night. I would go in the daylight. One of the things I try to minimize now is I don't watch a lot of news because the news puts fear in us. And so, even though it's these events may be going on. So, for instance, I live in Stone Mountain. They may show 10 shootings in Stone Mountain, but they won't show 10 people getting a reward for doing a good deed. And so if I'm focusing on all the mishaps, then that's instilling fear in me. And so I minimize the news that I watch. I feel relatively safe. I know that the world has people who may not mean to do me or others good. So I walk through the world with caution, but I feel relatively safe.
That's good. That's good. Uh, as we tend to look at final thoughts, uh, how do you see yourself and others in the future? You know, especially the status of women. We see women in all places, all spaces. Uh, uh, do you see possibility of a woman president?
I do. Well, let me put it. It is a possibility, but men has this thing. They don't want to be led by a woman. So there would be a problem by there. Because I know as a supervisor, I had a hard time getting men to follow me. Just simply because I was a woman. And so I think a lot of people are going to try not to have a woman president, even though I think they could be good. They could be just as good as men. So it's a possibility. Women are rocking now. They're becoming their own CEOs and everything else. They don't have to depend on men for everything. They have their own lives. They don't have to give up their lives for somebody else, just to make it in this world. So I think women are coming on up and doing great things.
Okay.
We definitely having this Women's History Month this year was really powerful. For me, what are my plans? The biggest plan is to stress less and do more things that make me happy. I have come through a lot since December, and I just asked myself, I said, how'd you get here? It was stress. So for me as a woman, taking care of myself and living on my own terms, um, that's really important to me right now. And bringing other people up as well, and continuing to inspire women, inspire everybody, however way I can do it, and doing that daily. But the biggest thing is to stress less.
And thank you there, Nene Drummer, for putting that out there. A lot of people got a lot of inner demons, and those demons were brought out during the pandemic. You know, but there was a lot of goodness that was brought out, and that's what you ladies are sharing. But continue, Avery and Tony.
I don't see Avery. I believe that the world is becoming, it's still growing, and there's an opportunity for a woman or women, more than one presidents. I believe that we can at some point accept a woman who's the leader, because it's not just solely based on her. She'll have a staff as well, you know, of other great leaders, and so she's orchestrating leaderships to with the vision. So I absolutely believe that we're heading in that direction. And presidents of different colors. It's not just I believe it's becoming more multicultural to reflect America. Rather, it's women, different races of color. I believe we're going to see, I don't know if it's within our lifetime, but I believe it's to come.
Okay. Avery, as a young one, I think you're the young ones on here, youngest one. What's the future looking like for you and other women?
I think as long as women speak out more and don't just give into the sexist ideologies, like things can get better, because a lot of the colleges and universities, they're becoming like majority women, and women are starting to take on more leadership. So it might take another 20, 30 years, but I think we will have a woman president pretty soon. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time.
Okay, that might make you a grandmama. The rest of us, well, you know, I think we can get another. Well, that'll put me about 100. So yeah, it can happen. Well, in closing, ladies, you know, you can share with the audience and for everybody that joined in and chatted in. For those that could not make it on, definitely thank your comments. But in closing, ladies, what's one thing you would like to leave with the audience when it comes to you as a woman?
One thing you would want to leave as a woman, that you can do anything you want to do, and just because it's taking time doesn't mean you can't do it. You know, like you might have had a dream of owning a company when you were 20 years old. Here you are 50. You can still have that dream and you can still do it. Okay, so don't think just because time has passed that you can't do what you want to do. There's always until your face is facing the sun in the grave, you can do it. Okay, don't let anybody tell you you're too old. If you have a spirit to do it, you have a mind to do it, you can do it. You can always do whatever you want to do. I mean, look at me. I was late. I started off young, but I had to raise my kids and everything else before here I am, a grandmama and a great grandmama. You know, but I'm soaring now. I am soaring. So it takes time. Everything don't come at the split of a dime or whatever. You know, it takes time sometimes, but you can do it. So women, don't give up. I know sometimes you want to get your husband straight and, you know, send them off to college or whatever. You can do it too. You can do it. So don't give up. Women can do it. Women rock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna leave with this thing that I gave out before I was 59, on the eve of my 60th birthday. I sent out some boxes, And I asked them to do 3 things. I told them to send me a picture of themselves as a kid. So I think we need to return to our inner child and find out what made us happy as a kid. The other thing is that we need to have a prayer life, and then we need to journal. And I'm going to buy Avery's journal, and she looks just like her dad. So she know your uncle, he'll get it to me. Well, you can put it in the family chat, Avery. I'm the one who was telling you to go to the Goodwill. I was going to show you the things I bought, but yeah, I was going to say to you that you could put on Amazon a list, like a gift list. Go get a gift list, and I'll be happy to go buy what you need. You know, some things you put it on the. Are you the person that moved into the new apartment, right? Yeah, so I was like, she could do a list, you know, like a housewarming list, right? So things that you kind of want. But anyway, regardless of that, she has a journal, and journaling is so important. So I sent them a little journal, and I wanted them to write, you know, but I also wanted them to pray. But the inner child, and then I wanted them to have self-care, take time for themselves. Women, to take time for yourself, pray, and journal, and return to your inner child. Because my inner child, man, she is like stuffed animals. Every time I go someplace, she wants stuffed animals now. For some reason, I'm just falling in love with stuffed animals all over again. I'm like, you're not bringing that home, but you can enjoy them in the store and pick them up and cuddle them. But you know, you don't need a house full of stuffed animals. However, it's just that energy, you know, when you return to that inner child. And I look at myself and I say, what did you like to do? She loves Twizzlers. I should be eating them all the time, but she loves Twizzlers. It's things like that that make you happy. Return to your inner child. Get a picture of yourself when you were a younger child and say, what did I like? And I know that some kids didn't have a happy, but there's got to be something that you liked as a child that made you happy. I'm done.
Okay. Hey, Tony.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I can definitely share my info with Uncle Reg. But I would just say, for women and people who stand up for women, it's important to be open, just always curious and always open to new ideas and connecting with new people, because you never know where that can take you. And to always have a spirit of loving on yourself, but also giving back. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
I would say that as women, we are givers. You know, we give to others, and we pour into so many people. Make sure you take time to make self-care a priority. Even if you have a schedule and you schedule 9 o'clock, I do this, 10 o'clock, I do that, 11 o'clock, I do that. Make sure you schedule some time for yourself daily. And so that will keep your fuel burning. And however you utilize that time for self-care, but pour into yourself, okay? Nobody's going to do it, but you've got to pour into your own self. And that's what I want to share as my takeaway.
Oh, good. Well, definitely. Thank you, ladies. I want one thing before I forget. Go around one time, tell people how to get in touch with you. Whatever your product is, whether it's a book, a website, or whatever. Put that out. Tell them how to get in contact with you, whatever that product or service that you have.
Okay. I guess I'll start. I got a book out, Power Thoughts Empowering You to Be Successful in Life. You can get that book at AandKProductions.com. AandKProductions.com. My book is on. Of course, you can always Google Power Thoughts by Sylvia Hayes. And also, I have a show called The Church Ladies Cooking Show. Just Google it. The Church Ladies Cooking Show. You can Google it, see all the episodes. We're on Tubi, YouTube, and somewhere else, a bunch of other places. So I'm a producer, y'all. So go get my book. I'm a producer, I'm a writer, and I'm a talk show host. you can reach me at alive.kickingproductions@gmail.com. Alive.kicking, KICKIN, productions@gmail.com. Alive.kicking productions@gmail.com. Okay, that's how you can reach me.
Okay, I have two things I want you to do. To go to my website, it's Artish Creations, and you spell that R as in Robert, Tish, TISH Creations with an S.com. The other website I want you to look at is Foodies, my beloved Foodies Taste Kitchen. It's Foodies, FOODIES, Taste, TASTE, kitchen.com. You can follow Artish Creations on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow Foodies Taste Kitchen on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Except for Foodies Taste Kitchen on Twitter is Foodies Taste Kit, because I ran out of characters. So it's Foodies Taste Kit on Twitter. But I'm more on Instagram than anything, and Facebook. So you'll see, and we're going to have some cooking shows where you can cook live with the chef. That's coming up. You can reach me on my email address. It's foodiestasteskitchen@gmail, artishcreations@gmail, and then you can just reach me personally, Letitia Owens, no spaces, @gmail.com, and just reference the show, and I'll get back in touch with you. Because I'm looking for people to come down to this children's festival. I got my eye on a lot of people, and we're gonna have a good time in August. It's August 12th. It's in Greensboro, Georgia. It'll be from 8 a.m. The walk starts at 7:30, and it goes all the way till 3 p.m. So it's gonna be 8 a.m. really the live show, not the live, excuse me, the festival, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're waiting for confirmation on our location. So stay tuned to that. Just contact me, and those are my contact addresses.
Go ahead, Avery.
I think the best way to reach me is Avery Drummer, AVERI Drummer @gmail.com, or by text at 480-280-0921. And I have Left on Red and Blue Manitarian on Amazon. And my main journal right now is 20 free. So 20 and the word free. And that's it. Yeah, averydrummer@gmail.com.
Okay,
Thank you.
Amazon 20 free, like 20 free. That's how I look it up on Amazon, the journal.
Yes, like freedom. Yes.
Say it one more time for me. I'm old.
Oh, 20 FREE by Sienna V. Ferruzzi. That's my pen name.
Okay. Your uncle will tell me. Okay.
Okay.
I'll get it from him. I'll get it from him.
It's my desire that we refrain how people of color see mental health. So I want to say, having a counselor is cool. You can reach me at the office number 404-316-0226. My personal number is 910-899-8167. The company is A Love Counseling Center. We do offer telemental health as well as face-to-face. And you can also find us online at alovecounseling.org.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody that tuned in, whether over here, Square Mile Media, Atlanta. Continue to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. For everybody, because that was on the Facebook link, couldn't bring you into the audio, but definitely we're going to share this, and I hope that you continue to have some conversations with the women in your family. There's nothing more powerful than the voice of a woman that helps us to stay balanced. And as we come together, male and female, working in balance to make some things happen, I think we can make this world a better place. This is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, and thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of We Are Ready. And you know what we say over here, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So we can build better relationships. We can look at the qualities within each other. We can make anything better. You know, we say the secret of walking on water is just knowing where the rocks are. So the secret to all the problems that we have lies in the people that we currently know and the people that we currently don't know. So we can make some things happen for the betterment of this world by working together. This is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist. Take care. And by all means, be safe out there and stay ready.